What's going on, everybody? David here from Bluckers Videos and Toys, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Jurassic World Dominion Roar Strikers, Liopleurodon and Ichthyovenator. Now, the Liopleurodon lived in the later part of the Jurassic period, while the Ichthyovenator lived in the early part of the Cretaceous period. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so this is the Jurassic World Dominion Liopleurodon, and this is the Roar Striker style box that comes in. And so it's pretty much your standard box for this particular assortment. And so we have the Rexy right here, Jurassic World Dominion logo right there, Roar Strikers in the middle, Liopleurodon, ages 4 and up, that's me. And we have the figure in the middle, and we have the cardstock in the background. You know, it's the scene where everything gets all destroyed in the beginning of the film with the Triceratops stampede, or should I say the Nasutoceratops stampede. So you can tell that there's the turned over truck and everything. And so then you got the helicopter right there in the background. And you have the sound symbol right there. Let you know that it does make sounds. And then here at the bottom underneath, you got the instructions right there. And then here on the back, we have the art rendering or prototype image of the Liopleurodon in action. It says press and roar. And then here we've already reviewed the Megaraptor and the Iguanodon, and we do not have that currently in the collection. So I might pick that up once it goes on clearance, you know, if and when it does, because those are pretty much, as of this recording, overstocked at Walmart's, you know, from what I've seen. So it'd just be nice to have a little extra Sinoceratops. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove this thing out of its packaging. Okay, so we finally got it out of its packaging. So we do have a little bit of assembly, and so just have to turn this around and just have to insert it. Always trying to make sure that I got that lined up correctly. Let's see. There we go. There. Sometimes where they have the design and stuff can get a little confusing if you're not really looking, you know. Sometimes I've seen people just stick it in there in their videos and it's just kind of like in the wrong position. But anyways, so yeah, nice and simple and easy. I really do like how this looks. Not all the way 100% accurate, but then again, you know, this is Jurassic World, so it's not going to be 100% accurate, you know. But for the most part, it does look like a Liopleurodon. It does look kind of weird right here. As far as this goes, the neck should be a little shorter, you know, just a little bit at least. The head should at least start right here. It's a little too long, but it is what it is, you know. It is Jurassic World, so it is going to be their own take. Now, as far as this goes, this species of marine reptile belongs to the Pliosauridae family, which means short neck. So the neck isn't going to be as long as the plesiosaur, which we'll get to a little comparison here in a little bit. But like I mentioned before, this neck is a little too long. It should be a little bit shorter, you know, and the head should at least start right here, you know. But overall, the figure looks good, you know. Like I always say in all my videos, you know, Mattel does an excellent job with their sculpts. So you can tell that this was made into this particular hard plastic color right here on top. And that's a separate plastic right here, piece right there. And then, you know, they just went ahead and paint at the bottom and everything right there, and that cream color right there. So it looks good, and then they just kind of shorten it out right there. So all this is spray painted, As far as the pattern goes, I really do like the pattern. I just kind of wish that it would have continued at least right here, It's like right here they just stopped, They could at least added a little bit of more striping right there. Even if they didn't have to do the size, they could at least just continued it on a little bit, and then kind of shorten it out, thinned it out right there. That would have been really cool. But they just started from the neck and just stopped right there. I'm not really a fan of that. But the pattern, I am a fan, but just the fact that it just stopped. But anyways, so here is the head sculpt of the Liopleurodon. Not 100% accurate, but it's close. They've got the long snout and everything, and so it looks pretty good right there as far as the detail and everything. The osteoderms down here and there, and the top part of the head looks pretty accurate. They do have the skull right there is pretty much where it's supposed to be. It just looks a little goofy looking just because of where they have the teeth, big teeth. And, they should have just not include that tooth right there. I think it's weird how sometimes they do that. But other than that, it looks good. Just a dark black pupil for the eyes. And let's see if we can't. There we go. And I do love the detail as far as the sculpt at the texturing of the lower jaw right there, all the rigid skin, the osteoderms right there, and the smooth texture here on top of the head. And then here you get the osteoderms there on the neck, then all on the top of the body right here. It looks really good. There we go. And then as far as the flippers goes, do like the texturing of the flippers. Got the nice smooth textures right there. The detail here, the flat part, the fins. This side right there, same thing. So other than that, not much else going on right here. Just this gray plastic with the creamy underbelly, and this is pretty much it with the few stripings. But overall, it's a good looking figure, except for the neck is a little too long for me, but that's okay. It's part of the action feature, so I get why they did it like that. So, and so as far as articulation goes, the tail rotates like this, all 360. And then the fins, we're not going to go through all of them, but the fins are in a ball and hinge. So they just pretty much, you can move them out, and have them in a swimming pose. So they go up and down, and then you can move them like that and go forwards and backwards. So you can literally put this in all kinds of poses, same here in the back, So just depending on how you want, what swimming position you want them in, this thing in. So it looks really good. And then as far as the action feature goes, before I forget, let's go ahead and do this. For all you scan fans that like to, there you go, that works out. So then as far as the action feature goes, just press this button. So it's supposed to do like a chomping action. So I don't know how many sounds this comes with. It might 2 or 3 sounds. So that sounds like an aquatic reptile or marine reptile. So basically, I think the second sound Sounds more like a marine reptile, but that's just me. All right, so let's go ahead and do some comparisons. So the first comparison is with a plesiosaur. So like I mentioned before, it's distinguished by two different families, like the pliosaur and the plesiosaur. Because the plesiosaur's got the long neck, and then the pliosaur has the shorter neck. So that's the difference. That's why it's pronounced differently and spelled differently. Kind of sounds the same, but it's not the same. And we have a couple of species that lived alongside the Liopleurodon, the Ornitholestes and the Rhamphorhynchus. And then as far as a human comparison, pretty much almost accurate. Needs to be just a tad bit bigger, but this is pretty much close to how big the Pleurodon is. Alright, so let me know what you think of this figure. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Alright, next up is the Ichthyovenator, and like I mentioned before, this did live in the early part of the Cretaceous period, and so let's go ahead. We're not going to go over the box because we already just did, so let's go ahead and break this thing out. Okay, well, for some reason that was pretty much a struggle to try to get out, like most of the other ones. But anyways, so we still got some assembly required to do for this one. So let's go ahead and insert this tail, and I believe there we go. So this is a rather interesting species, I might add. A cool one, that is. A little exaggerated, but what Mattel Jurassic World figures aren't exaggerated when it comes to their species and their take on what it should look like. And very vibrant, I might add. But anyways, so the Ichthyovenator, like I mentioned before, lived in the early part of the Cretaceous period and is part of the Spinosauridae family, which consists of like the Baryonyx, the Spinosaur itself, and Suchomimus, and among those, should I say, dinosaurs with big old spines on their back. but yeah, it's a rather interesting species that's been discovered fairly recently, not too recently, but as far as I know, and at the time of this recording, I think the only thing that they have on this particular species is like the sail part and part of the leg, in the back right there a little bit, and a few other pieces. I can't remember what else they all discovered, but it's not complete, I don't think. But I do know that they have this part and then this part right here, and then a few other pieces along the other parts of the dinosaur. But yeah, like I said, it's very interesting how, especially with that particular gap right there. But yeah, very cool. And a new species into the collection, a welcome addition, even though it might not be exactly how it's supposed to look, especially with the way this tail looks. But anyways, I do like the coloring, the bright coloring, not so much. Not really a huge fan of that, but it is different. But I do like the crocodilian style body that gave it somewhat, especially here at the head. Should the snout right here should be a little longer, because the Spinosaurid family has known for its a little bit longer snout. This is a little too short, but let's go ahead and bring the head closer, get a closer look at that. And it looks good, the details looks great. I like to have the alligator texturing to it, a little bit here. Kind of smooths out here in the back of the neck, but here on the snout all the way up to here, You got that more texture to it. You know, looks good. The eyes look good. The pupil looks good on that side. And then right there, looks pretty good right there. Not too bad. So then I do like the fact that they added the lime green to around the eyes here. It looks good there. And then other than that, pretty much the whole body itself, with the exception of the tail and the sail, and it's pretty much the same color. You know, it's dipped in this plastic. You know, this is the only separate piece. So it's got that little cream color here at the bottom of the snout. So, and then as far as detail on the body goes, you know, you got the osteoderms right there. Let me go ahead and brighten that up. You got the osteoderms right here. You know, it started at the neck, and then it kind of continues on all the way down here. And the fact that this goes all the way here, all the way to the tail. On that side, same thing on this side. You got the hind legs, you get the muscle definition there. So it's not really a lot of detail like some where they get real. Some of these dinosaurs that they make, they real defined in the legs, you know, and the calf muscles. Here, not so much. You know, you can tell it's got muscle, but it's not deep cuts like some of the others that they give. You know, here in the rib, you can tell the rib cage is right there, and you get the deep cut there on the side. And this one too, it's not. This one is not as deep, but you can tell on this one's a little bit more deeper here, more defined. You know, and then here on the hands, you know, they got the little flippers a little bit right there, kind of like that. You know. But other than that, not much else. So as far as the spine goes, or the sail, you know, it starts right there. You know, you can tell that was spray painted here. I do like the fact that they tried to kind of add the little dark green here, there. So then you got this lime green tail. You can tell that they tried to make it where it starts here, so it won't be so obvious, you know, because it's spray painted right there. On here, here's a little bit lighter. There's a little bit darker, you know. But here, it's just very lightly on this side. And of course, you know, this is probably made into this particular lime green plastic, you know, and very creative, you know, nice little attempt, you know, to be a little different. But it'd be kind of cool if they had that little color right here on this. So, but anyways, I do like the fact that they included the sail all the way down here. Not so much underneath, didn't really need that, but I guess if it's work, if it was swimming, you know, but, you know, I could have done without that, but that's pretty cool, you know, not too bad. But overall, not a bad dinosaur, you know, a little plain, but, you know, it's lemon lime. So, I wouldn't say lemon lime, but more so lime due to the fact of this color right there. So, I guess it could be a Sprite, Ichthyovenator Sprite. But anyways, so as far as the way the articulation goes, well, you know, you get the 360 in the tail, and then the arms are on a ball and hinge, so ups and down, in and out, you know, forwards and backwards, you know, both sides. And that's pretty much it. And then the tail, you know, you got the ratchet joints here, but it's ties it into the action feature. So as far as the action feature goes, you know, you just press down on it. Not too bad, you know. Don't know what a Ichthyovenator sounds like, but it's pretty much a rehash of other sounds that we had before. So overall, you know, it's a good little creature. You know, I wouldn't say little, but it's a nice addition to to the collection, you know, since it's my first Ichthyovenator in my collection. So, all right, let's go ahead and get some comparisons. So the first comparison we have is the with the Parasaurolophus, which also lived in the same time frame. And we have the Baryonyx, which is also a relative of the Ichthyovenator. You know, they are classified as part of the Spinosauridae family. And here we have a human next to it. It's pretty much almost, if not on par with what it actually is supposed to be as far as size goes. Alright, so that was a look at the Liopleurodon and the Ichthyovenator. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these two species. Which one is your favorite out of the two? And don't forget, words of wisdom. Buy what you love and not what you like, because if you buy what you like, you'll always end up getting rid of it. And I will catch y'all later.